NFXers.
Okay, now we're on, everybody. Yes, and what we say now will be recorded for posterity. I'm James Lott Jr. here. Welcome to the GH Lee Spotlight and Recap year-end special that we're doing. We'll recap some of the things that happened recently, of course. We're going to talk about the year in general, which I just did with the other two shows. I'm not alone, of course. It's Frank Moran. Hi, Frank.
Yes, just dodging the bullet on that live streaming option there.
Yeah. He was going to say something, you guys. He was going to say something. Like, he doesn't say anything already, but he was going to say something. Anyway, but we're here to you today as we close out the end of 2021. Frank, can you believe this long year is over?
It's a lot of, there's been a lot of ups and downs, I'm sure, for people personally, for the shows that they love. And I am no exception to that. But at least I feel like 2021 is ending in a better place than it started. So,
well, yes, that leads me to, because now my family in New York is back in hiding again, because I guess the Omarion variant, what it's called, is running rampant. So we gotta be careful, folks out there. This whole pandemic is not over by any means, right? It's not over. So just be careful out there while you're doing your holiday stuff. This has been a year. I've had this show, this alliteration of the show, for about 7 years almost. The next show will be 7 years. I can't believe it. I've known Frank almost 7 years. It's crazy. I know, Frank. We were both fresh-faced young boys. No,
yes.
actually, we were.
And then I wear this thing that's called, some people call it beard now, but
we're both covering our hair. I mean, it's like that's just how it works now for us.
That's true. That's true.
That's how it works now.
Rocking this look compared to what we would at least put some kind of air.
Yes, we did back in the day.
Dress up at AfterBuzz to now.
AfterBuzz.
Like,
yes, I know, not anymore. Shout out to Lucretia Lyon, who's moved back to Los Angeles, so she'll probably be back on our show next year. We got your chat room. We got a lot of things to talk about. You guys are already talking already good. A lot of things to talk about. But I just want to say thank you for all. This is my number one show on audio and video, Frank. It's the number, by leaps and bounds and downloads and views, it is the number one. I mean, miles ahead of everything else.
Well, I mean, I know the people just listening to it really enjoy the beard. So,
Frank, you have a face for radio, Frank. A face for radio. So we thank you. Seriously, we thank you. In all seriousness, we thank you. I mean, we come on here, we talk crazy or whatever for the show, but we enjoy doing it. Frank and I like each other. We enjoy doing it. And Lucretia comes on when she can. And one day, Coronado will come on next year. One day, she said. One day,
we'll see. I mean, she also said that she was going to get Maurice Bernard on the show.
Right, she didn't do that either.
Yeah, we know how that turned out, guys.
Yes. Yeah, we know how that is. So we'll talk. We love Carla. She's doing great things. So we'll talk to her next year. And also we'll have some of the other podcasters like 10-4GH, the Port Charles Sisters. They'll all be back on next. We're gonna have a 2022. We're continuing. We're going as long as we feel like it. That's how me and Frank decided. It's as long as we feel like it.
Yeah.
But you guys reward us by watching this crazy little show. So thank you very much. Everybody's coming in the chat room. Come on in. Let me tell you a little church announcements. Y&R Bone Beautiful recap is already out. They're both out to everything. So you can check us out talking about the craziest on those shows. And all our friends are back on TV. So check those out. So that's Y&R Spotlight and Bone Beautiful Spotlight year-end editions. They are out. Me, Tammy Govea. I always call her Tammy Doc Govea. Tammy Doc Govea and Amanda Russ. We talked about it. We did it. It's there. Our Friends Edition Days, my chocolate twin, Tony Moore. And then we're talking about Days of Our Lives right now. They're talking about right now. So you can check them out, not now while we're talking, but check them out afterwards. Over at Edition Days, they talk about the last of Days of Our Lives for this year also. And right after this, live in my room, she'll be sitting right next to me, Marissa Serafini will be here. Isn't that crazy, Frank? For the first time in 2 years, I'll have a person with me talking about the When Hope Calls Christmas special that came on last night on GAC Family. So you're not going to miss that, Frank.
Speaking of Christmas specials, how was the Days Christmas special?
Very, very interesting. It was. So I don't give spoilers. Anybody hasn't watched it yet. I would say it's like alternate universe stuff, and there's some very special guests that you're like, what? That come back for it. That's all I'll say right now. It's on Peacock. On Very Salem Christmas. It's very, because right now the main show is about Marlene possessed by the devil. So that's been killing me. I love it. It's been really fun. she's levitating and eyes are glowing and throwing people around. It's fun. But the Salem Christmas thing, smart idea. I wish that the other soaps would follow suit and do spin-off things on the streaming services. That's what made me think about that. I know ABC does Hulu. I know that they're with Hulu. So like do a General Hospital spinoff on Hulu. Just like little one-offs. You know.
It's true. So basically, are you saying that this day special is basically like one of GH's crappy like alternate universe stories they do around the holidays?
Yes, that's basically what it is, but it's separate. It's right. That's kind of what it is, but it's separate. It's not on the main show. That's what they did.
Great.
They did. Yes, that's basically, you got it right, Frank. And so folks talking to you, okay, I'm going to answer something in the question, Frank. So Chartreuse Owl says, Carla's going to turn up with Maurice, a boombox, and demand Frank's GH rap. Oh, Frank's rap. George Blackman says, love the beard, Frank.
I think you're the only one. Even I questioned it many days.
He's already over it. And Root King says, I know your name, Root King. Been watching us at the very beginning. Do you miss all the lady co-hosts? I missed the foursome. We brought on Lady recently, and that was kind of fun, and with Lucretia. Then of course we had a good time. Back then it was a lot of fun. We had a good time. It was new and fresh, like we were new and fresh, and then we moved on. But like if I see her online, she's doing fine, and Lucretia's doing fine too. Which like I said, she just moved back to LA after being gone for the pandemic. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun being in the studio, right? We had a good time going in the studio.
Yeah. I mean, and what, you don't want just two dudes just chilling, talking about GH? Just two dudes?
Yeah, two dudes. Right. Hello. Oh, they're starting already. Lori C. I agree with George. Love the beard. Oh, okay, kids. Enough about Frank.
Sorry, everybody. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Cheese and crackers. But no, yeah. So it was a lot of fun. Like I said, it's been almost 7 years, and so I really appreciate you guys. I tried to leave the soaps. You dragged me back in, and I dragged Frank with me and said, "Here we go, let's do it." So
it was basically it required zero dragging to get me back in. So I was like, yes, please.
I said, think about it for a second.
No, I'm there.
A little Sunday afternoon thing. So right now I said, this is the last show of the year. We will not be back to January 16th. I have some important milestone birthdays in my family to celebrate in January, so that's why I'm not coming back sooner. But we'll be back January 16th. We're here. And we got to mention this because people are talking about this already in the chat room, Frank. I've already talked. So on my sister's show, thank you very much, folks, on that, watching that one, Jay's Dirty Deeds, I have been chronicling all the mess off camera. And thousands of you are watching that show. It's kind of crazy. I'm just getting big numbers. I'm following along with it. And folks, I did reach out to Ingo Rademacher to interview him.
Nice. All right.
So because he's cooking crazy right now, but we'll see what happens. I seriously want to talk to him, Frank, because he is. I don't know if you've seen it, Frank. He's doubling down. He's suing ABC. He's doubling down, saying that this vaccination thing is bad. And he's going all out. Steve Burton, on the other hand, is very kind of diplomatic about everything. Like, yeah, I was fired. Life will go on. I love General Hospital. So two different approaches, Frank. One is going all out war, and the other one's like, okay, I'll do my business.
It's true. Well, I mean, he's got the Stone Cold and Jackal podcast and touring perform shows that they do as well. So,
And Ingo has nothing.
Yeah. So I can understand, Steve wants to get, still engage the fans. And something like this a topic like this can be very divisive. So,
yeah, that's good. And folks, stop trying to get Nancy Grahn fired. It's not her fault. These people didn't do what they did. She called for safer measures, and I stand by Nancy Grahn. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. And who knows? I mean, while there's one person being very vocal about it, you can't say that there were many other people that weren't feeling the same way, that maybe were not as vocal.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. So we don't know all the stuff, but I'm telling you, these sets are small. ABC Disney wants safety, and it was an ABC Disney mandate, not GH, ABC Disney, which is the parent company that pays for all this. So it's like, they're following the guidelines. And so if people get about mandates, not law, doesn't matter. A private business can do whatever they want, so to speak. It's not saying you have to like what they do, but you have choices. We all have choices. So I just think that I'm seeing Ingo, but I would love to have Ingo on the show. Just talk to him about it. Say, just tell me what is your feeling, and say why what's going on. So I think I just would like to hear his side, just to hear his side of the story, and give a chance to really talk about it and ask those hard questions. See what I think it'll be really interesting. And if Steve wants to come on too, I know Steve wants to come on too. I'll talk to Steve. Nice. And what's the name? Brad Anderson, who's the Jackal, they actually on air disagreed. So he disagrees with Steve, but he said they're friends. They're friends. They can do their show. And yeah, Steve was just like, I'll do it. And Nancy is not the power. Nancy is not a producer. She's an actress on the show. Like that's all she. I mean, you know. So that's whole. That's to make sure because everybody's talking about it. But if you want to watch my reactions to everything, go to GHRED, my sister's show. You're on JLJ Media, and I'm going through the whole process. It's been very interesting, reading and seeing what they're doing. It's a very divisive time, I know. So it's kind of crazy. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that the one nice thing is that people can disagree and still be friends, which seems harder and harder these days, and very, where it's very
yes,
black and white. So
yes, it's tough. I have friends who are Republicans, I do, and they're not Trump Republicans. Actually, there's Republicans. We don't agree on some things fiscally, or we agree on some things fiscally. We don't agree things. I mean, like it's how life works sometimes. It's just that's kind of. If everybody was the same as me, I would go crazy. I don't want 10 James Lott Jr.'s. It may seem like a good idea at first, but
what about
all those alternate universes, Frank?
That's true. There you go.
You get a James Lott Jr. You get a James Lott Jr. Kind of weird. We kind of crazy. Or 10 Franks. We got some 10 Franks out there.
Well, that's a miserable thing. Just one is already awful. 10? Wow.
I would take a Frank Moran. Why not? I'll take one, but a side of fries.
You'll enjoy the fries. For sure.
Enjoy the fries, right? You'll enjoy the fries. That'll be good. Anyway, so this show, this whole year, Frank, I watch all 4 soaps. That's what I do, right? This year for me, GH has been hit or miss the whole year. Some weeks we just like, oh my God. And some weeks on fire. We have storylines that what else is Nathaniel? Marshall, that storyline, it's just dragging on for dear life. We don't even know what's wrong. We don't even know what's going on. We don't even know what's going on. I don't know what the, I'm with Curtis. Like, why is he back? And then we got Stella. Now, of course, we're going to taint Stella now because she knew all this. I mean, you see that coming, Frank? There's Stella new stuff.
Yeah, it makes, as soon as she saw him, I saw Marshall there in the Savoy, you're like, all right, she knows what's up. She knows what the deal is. And she knows the backstory. And what's frustrating about all this is that for days and days and weeks, we talk around it. We constantly talk around why Marshall left. And it's just frustrating. It's so frustrating. It's just tell us. Like, it's, just especially even between like Stella and Marshall, where two people who know the situation, talk to, so that we as the audience at least know what the deal is. And then we can kind of see what it's going to be like when Curtis finds out about this stuff. But come on, just give us this. And it's just, I was getting so fed up with just, constantly talking around it.
I had to laugh because even him with TJ, it's like, well, what's going on? What's going on? Who are you? What's going on? That took forever. I'm just kind of, you remind me of, I'm like, come on, tell him you're his grandfather. Like, it took the whole episode for it to happen. I'm like, you got to be, I was literally drowning in this hint.
And it's just, I don't, maybe 3 months from now, maybe we see the reason. I mean, we always know that there's, they're trying to time things right to impact other stories and stuff. But man, I feel like the GH at least has to do a better job of, not letting one storyline stagnate while it's trying to line up to land perfectly to really pay off something else in the bigger picture. Because it's just like, hey, the storyline could be great. And I'm excited that Curtis has a storyline of his own instead of being like a supporting character in so many other people's stories since he came on, really. So it's like, yes, let's have him really having his own storyline. But if you're going to do it like this, it's just like, come on, guys, you got to do better by that character than this.
I know. Chartreuse Owl says exactly what I'm saying. Everyone telling Curtis to chill when Marshall is literally creepy, evasive, but has a cool hat. Okay, there you go. We like hats. But he's been so evasive and so creepy. It's like, even Mike Hurst, like, we get this to do with homeboy, the homeboy got sent, the young man getting beat up, and and he won't answer that either. It's like there's just so much, and now he got a clarinet. Now he's like talking about the clarinet, and Curtis has a club, and I'm into music. Like what?
It's why I had to come. I had to come out of wherever I was hiding here for these past 25 years because of this club.
Yeah. So I'm saying, so that to me is what General Hospital is it's about. It's like there's some storylines that go great, and some are just like, okay, it's promising. Like you said, Chris's storyline, totally promising. But it's just the execution sometimes. I'm like, cheese and crackers. I'll be 800 years old before we find out exactly what happened. I mean, it's just like.
And I feel like the frustrating thing too is that I think as viewers, one, we get frustrated when we aren't told what the information is, but then the longer you make us wait for it, the more we're expecting it to be something
huge,
spectacular. And it's not going to be. Time and time again, GHs drag things out, and then when they do the reveal, you're like, well, we already knew that. We already kind of figured that out as viewers, or it's so underwhelming. You're like, that was it. All right. We waited X number of months for that. Great. I do like, though, that at least Curtis, I like Curtis going to Drew to get some help, which is great. But I do like at no time like his former PI partner in crime, Sam, which is fine. I don't need Sam involved in this at all.
I know you don't.
But not once does Sam like, hey, probably like the person that was in a PI business might be a good person to kind of reach out to. No. Which is fine. But I do like that she wasn't even a consideration. It just went right to Drew.
No, not like that. The whole Drew, let's kind of leave it out. The whole Drew thing, to me, so far it's being handled okay. So far I'm okay with it. Like I don't have nothing to bitch about. I mean, do you have anything to bitch about it at the moment? I mean, to me it's kind of, so far. I'm like, they're kind of easy to get. I don't know.
I would agree with you on that. I mean, because I feel like, and then it's also, I think, just the challenges of having a larger cast where there's so many other characters and storylines to work through that I would love to see more of Drew kind of getting, his kind of the lay of the land now that he's back and what he's going to do. Like he says he wants to honor Jason, which I'm like, well, what exactly does that mean? Does that mean becoming Sonny's right-hand man, which I don't think he would do because of everything that happened the first time that he was in town, plus scouts. So that would be bad. But how does he kind of go about that? And I'm glad we got at least a little bit of Monica and Drew. So I'm down for more of that.
Yeah, I agree. And the whole thing with Scout, they're learning to get to know each other. And him and Sam are becoming friends again. But I think it's okay so far. Unless they're going towards a Sam, Drew, your buddy triangle.
At first I thought they might go like a Drew Britt kind of thing with Jason gone, but I could also see maybe a Drew Maxey thing if he's really going to be obsessed. Really focused on trying to find the baby.
Them together a couple of times, didn't they? I think they're what they call it chem testing. I feel like they're chem testing him around a little bit. Yeah, I see him in Britt. I feel it's 555. I see him in Britt. I see him in Maxey. I was like, oh, there's something there. I was like, oh, there's something there. It bit me a little bit. Like, oh, I didn't expect that. But I also see him and Sam. I can see them try.
Please don't.
I know. Kiss of death.
Yeah.
But I said, and right now, like you, just hopefully show us more of it. But I think right now I have no complaints anymore. Like he's back. He's at the Quartermains. He's involved in people's stuff. He knows the whole Brooklyn, all that. He's dealing with all that stuff with them. I literally am okay with him right now. I think, but yeah, show us more of him, and let's get it going.
Because I would like to see a Drew Britt scene now that they're both back in Port Charles.
Yeah,
we haven't seen that yet. So.
No, we haven't seen it yet. So, well, Britt's been a little busy, and let's get that story out the way right now, because I will say, you're probably dead inside, but as we noticed the news, I cried like a baby on Friday. I did. I cried like a baby. I did. I don't like the storyline. Maybe that's probably the point. I'm not supposed to like the storyline, I guess. But I thought I thought Johnny Wachter and Sophia Madsen did a great job all last week and a half or so. I think they've been doing great work over this weird killing a baby during Christmas time. Like I said, it's a weird. The fans have been so split. I don't know. I was Friday. I cried. I cried.
You know, I mean, you know, seeing Mike show up, you know, it's like,
Yes.
there you go, which is always great. I mean, that's, you know, the one nice thing about sending off a, you know, a character while they're still alive.
Yes.
You can do these moments like that to really kind of add a little bit of
Oh,
the cherry on
Frank,
top.
Frank, when he showed up, I cried even harder. I was like, you really, JA's gonna do this to me really on a Friday? You know, really just Max Gale is back. Shit. I was like, I was like, ah! Like, it was just like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. And okay, so folks, they showed a deleted scene on Twitter. Jace released a deleted scene between Elizabeth and Britt. So it's a scene that's really good, Frank, actually. I wish they had deleted it, but which I always say it's weird when you find they have deleted scenes because soaps are so tight in how they film. But I guess they cut it, and yeah, it was interesting. So, but it's about the baby, so I was also like that. But I just thought it was yes, everybody hates it because they're in a site, but I think that's kind of the point. It's kind of the point that bad things happen, and it's inconvenient. You know, that's how it works. I mean, it's supposed to be horrific, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I mean, I think that's the great thing about soaps, that it can be all those things. And, you know, as much as you want the happy endings for you know, for all these different kind of life events, I mean, that's not true of, you know, and if soaps are supposed to be reflective of our society, suddenly, you know, there's going to be some bad stuff that happens along the way. You know, as long as it's told with some grace, you know, then it's good. And this is all right. I mean, I had some minor quibbles about, you know, Sasha's, you know, I'm going right to the I don't know. That's me, my dead inside, where I'm just like,
I think you're dead inside. So you got to take that time. Tell me what your quibbles are. Tell me.
It's just, it's as always with these scenes where somebody gets the, you know, the bad diagnosis, where it's just like, no, but wait, what? It's just those scenes get like, all right, yeah, sorry guys, you just had you know, some medical professionals come and talk to you, but no, wait, what? So I was tired of those scenes very quickly.
Yes. Yeah, but either way, I think she did great. I think they did great work. I think Brando, Johnny Wachter, who plays him, was very quiet. He was a quiet stoic with her along the way. Elizabeth, Britt, they all had, and Carly, they all had these they're all kind of just like, this is really tough. This is like, we had to really come together. And I think I like Brando and Sasha together. I think it was a great pairing. And even Gladys, your girl, wasn't that bad.
She wasn't that great either. It's just
the Bonnie Burrows, my girl, who watches our show.
I at no time will I ever say anything disparaging about her and her performance, but that character,
I didn't mind. This I kind of liked that she was a little more real. You said you wanted more real, and her and Carly were more real. She was still Gladys in some, you know, she was kind of that name, Leah. Oh, I mean, that's very Gladys. But she was a little more real about being a bad mother.
Yeah, I will give it that. But I also say that this is like a momentary blip in the storm, because you know, next few weeks she's going to just revert right to form. Especially, well, because we've been seeing so much kind of play, and this kind of plays into the bigger stuff. Yeah. But like Sonny, everybody be like, hey, well, you've got to move on from Jason. Who's going to be your new Jason?
Oh, right.
And so for Brando and Sasha, it will be interesting to see if the loss of a child keeps them together, or as sometimes happens in life, it ends up splitting people apart.
True.
And which is a shame, because I mean, they really had nothing. I mean, it was the kind of like the baby that kind of really locked them in together, because that happened so quickly.
Yeah.
So outside of that, I mean, are they going to have anything that's going to really keep them together? And if Brando feels like he needs to kind of help the family and be the new Jason, I mean, I feel like if you take the child out of that, is Sasha cool with Brando being in that lifestyle, or is it just a no-go for Sasha at all?
Yeah, that's a good point. Those are good points. I like that. I see that's so funny. No, no, those are good points, and it's so basically, yeah, but it's just actually just be interesting to see where these two they're establishing that Brando is family. They consider him family. He's family, and so now it's like, yeah, who? Because I don't think Drew's not going to do it. So it has to be your boy Michael being a little pit bull these days, trying to stand up to people. Everybody's making fun of him, but trying to make it, trying to stand up to people. I'm like, I'm like, that makes me laugh. That's okay, but that's not. We'll get to Michael and his tiredness in a second. But I'm curious to see what Brando and Sasha as a couple, how it affects them. Maybe it brings them closer together. Who knows? Maybe who knows? It'd be very interesting. But they killed a baby, folks. I'm always shocked. They killed a baby.
I mean, and with Sasha, with her, so being, recently out of, recovery for her addiction, does this play into it as well? Does she, which I am not relishing the idea of her kind of going down that rabbit hole.
Please don't, folks. Please don't. Don't go back. Don't go back to that. No, make her stronger than that. It's kind of crazy. So that was a big thing. So that was kind of there. But meanwhile,
and one thing I did enjoy, Sonny and Britt's, Sonny and Sasha's scene.
Yes,
thought that was a nice conversation between the two of them. Two characters you really don't see a lot together, because I like how he acknowledges that to Carly. Say, I can see why you like her, and you thought.
Yes, he did say yes.
Yeah,
I agree. It was like, like we never see them. We never see them together. I mean, we know Carly likes Sasha because what she did for her back when the Nell stuff happened. So she was always like, I'm on your side, I'm your friend. And I remember the one where she goes, thanks for being my friend, and Carly goes, always. I thought, they established that part. But when Sonny was talking to her, and see, I'm liking this Sonny, because you said this a long time ago. You go, Nixon Falls. You know how much you love Nixon Falls. You loved it. Frank loved it so much. Watch the previous episodes. No, but you're saying get him back toward Charles. That's where the action may happen. And I'm liking this Sonny. This Sonny, it is a mixture of Mike and Sonny. It really, he's changed.
He has, and
he hasn't. He's both.
Correct. But it's also the part of me too where it feels like it's like now they're trying to set up Carly to be the hurt party in all this, that she's been betrayed by, when she inevitably finds out what the real deal was between Sonny and Nina in Nixon Falls. And so I feel like they're just constantly teeing it up to give Carly that big moment of revelation, and then just anger and revenge. Because how many times we have to have people remind her, especially Olivia, like, oh yeah, I mean, you're really keeping the gloves on for this. I mean, usually, you would, boy, there'd be no stopping.
Instigators, it's the stir in the pot. The pot.
So I feel like they're just teeing it up, and we're gonna find out what the deal is, and then Carly's gonna, I guess what hell hath no fear like a woman scorned. So she's gonna be, coming for heads.
Yeah, but we don't. Excuse me. But of course, don't we want a hot Carly going after people as we want? We don't want tame Carly sitting there, But I love that. Nina's just starting to get a backbone fight. That's another thing that Frank wanted this year, was Nina to get a backbone. Yes. And so she is. And when Olivia was like, she's like, is that a threat, Olivia? And I said, well, Carly Corinthos won. And Nina's like, you need to worry about your marriage, bitch. That's what she said. She's like, Olivia, don't be worry about my bitch, my stuff. You worry about your own marriage, bitch. And Olivia got quiet. She couldn't say nothing. And she walked off. So so again, let's make Nina stronger. And that talk with Liesl was good. That talk with Britt, they're finally building her to be like, okay, stop being this mealy mouth. You did what you did. You did what you did. Like Liesl said, you did what you did. So okay. Now you get back out there and you just go put your head up and go forward. I thought that's what we need. That's what we need. I thought of you, Frank, when you were at that speech.
I agree. And we did see at least the one Sonny Nina scene that almost came into a confrontation earlier on when she first came back, where if Jason hadn't showed up, it would have been an ass whipping on Nina. So physically, I don't think Nina's going to be able to stop Carly or Caroline from Florida.
Caroline from Florida. That's right, Caroline from Florida.
You're not going to be able to stop an ass whipping from there. But I do want to see more Carly Nina, where it is just like there's two formidable women kind of bumping heads against each other. One might get the edge up one time and the other might get the edge up another time.
Well, Leo Leopardus, I actually agree with her assessment. It's going to come out during the trial. This trial is dumb. This trial is completely dumb. First of all, it's a dumb trial anyway.
Yeah.
But they need a space for it to come out where it's like big, right? You got to do it big. It can't come out quietly. That's come out big. Even though Willow's going to be there too, because obviously supporting Michael, who brought on the lawsuit. Carly will be there. Sonny, we know what's going to happen. Frank, come on, we know what's going to happen.
No, that's right. Which you're right. I mean, it makes sense of why this trial has to happen.
Right.
So
it's dumb. Everybody's like identity theft. We're like, what? Fraud. I'm like, what? So it's going to come out and that's why he keeps setting up Sonny and Nina with these little talks they keep having. And it's like, really, I'm sorry, folks. I know a lot of folks are like, I like Sonny and Nina now at this point. You guys, I know, it was whatever. I don't care. I like them together like this. I think it's very forbidden. I kind of like it. I'm in. Sorry, I'm in. Nina and Sonny, I'm in.
Yeah, true. Which, given the way soaps go, like Carly finding out will be the thing that really drives Sonny and Nina together. Her anger and how she retaliates will just force the two of them to kind of.
Well, because Sonny said something once about Greeley. He said, well, I'm your husband. I mean, it was talking about Jason, and she got quiet for that because see, Carly's not that innocent either, folks. Carly is not that innocent. She was falling in love with Jason. Yes, it was at a pretense of Sonny being dead. But still, it's like you still follow somebody else. I mean, like you still had feelings for somebody else. Like it just kind of happened. Same here. Sonny didn't know he was Mike. I mean, Mike didn't know he was Sonny, didn't know he was Sonny, and he kind of fell for Nina. It's the same thing. He didn't know. Again, it is on Nina. It's because Nina was the one who knew all the stuff. But it's like, again, it just kind of happened. He was living a different life in Nixon Falls. And sorry, Carly, that's what he was doing.
Yeah, very true. I mean, I guess the slight difference would be that at least Jason and Carly were a little bit more forthright with Sonny about the feelings than Sonny has been. Sonny's like, oh, we'll wait until the moment's right for me to tell us. Like, and of course, with soaps that means it's never going to happen until it blows up in your face. So,
right. I'm just saying, it's like we need conflict. Obviously, this is a show. I mean, because Carly and Sonny be boring if they didn't. They always fight. That's what they do. That's what they kind of do. I'm not saying that Nina and Sonny should be together end game, but I'm just thinking there's something there. And actually, if they write it correctly, it can be really interesting. It can be very interesting because again, it's about him integrating his two sides.
Yeah,
and that's the point. That's why I said I feel like this trial that'll come out that he was happy where he was, because Nina keeps talking about that. You were happy. And Sonny remember. I love the fact that Sonny remembers. I'm glad they didn't have him forget that. I'm glad he remembers that. That's his comment. I'm just saying, Maurice Bernard looks like he's having a great time. I just feel like he's like we said, some of these actors sometimes, they do these shows for a long time, and they start phoning it in. Kelly Monaco. There's some of these, and so then it gets something to wake them up. I feel like this is waking him up. That Maurice Bernard. I feel like he's happy. I feel like he's happier. Like he's really into this because I'm liking his portrayal. He's not the exact same person, but he's kind of the same person in some ways, but he's not.
And it would be interesting to see, as much as Nina still has a thing for him, she's never fully, even though Sonny has a bit of Mike in him, so he's not exactly the same Sonny mob boss that he was. Right. He still is a mob boss.
Right.
So while Nina knows that in the abstract, to be with somebody that is, does things that a mob boss does, would Nina be fine with that? It would be interesting to see.
There's that. Also, we have, that's going on, of course. We also have the other couple, which I love. I mean, I love me some Chase and Brooklyn. I love them. I just do. I just think they have great chemistry. Him stepping in to say he's the father. It's causing a lot of people going off on her. But I will say, because we talk about this, I will say I cried a little bit too, the scene where Valentine says bye to Bailey. I did. I thought Jason Stewart did a great job.
I
didn't feel anything. You're dead again.
No. Yes, Valentine. I mean, James Patrick Stewart is fantastic as Valentine, and the scenes that scene in particular was great. I'm just having a tough time buying why they just did not tell Valentine what the deal was.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I'm the same way. I think fans feel the same way. Like, why just tell him?
Yeah, it's just, and I don't think the show's done really good. I mean, other than you just want to prolong the storyline, which is frustrating.
Oh,
yeah, but it just like there really was no rational sense not to tell Valentine at that point.
I agree.
rather than add another lie onto it. And while I'm liking Chase and Brooklyn as a pairing, the idea of having Chase involved in another kind of lie like this is like, is that all this character does? Is he just constantly kind of does this heroic thing by kind of creating a lie? Like, give that character something else to do instead of always kind of being that kind of role.
He's been fired. He's not fired. He's been put on leave, so he's not doing any cop duties right now.
Yeah,
that's not happening.
Yeah. So I enjoy the Chase Brooklyn pairing. I mean, we get the classic soap. Oh no, we're stuck in a sauna. Oh, my towel fell off.
Whoops. I know. I was like, oh, can you move the camera this way, please? I was like,
yeah. I still felt like
I always
that's a sauna, and I know Brooklyn still had a lot of clothing on there during that whole time. I'm like, come on, that you took your big winter coat off, but that jacket,
I know, take it off, girl. Like, jeez, I don't think, girl. We were all kind of all laughing about that. Mm-hmm. What's it called? Okay, yes, it was kind of
seeing Valentine's heartbreak for sure is great. He does it well, and I'd be curious to see where this this revenge minded character right now who just wants to, especially the talks between him and Anna, where it's just Anna appealing to the better side of Valentine. It's like, no, you don't know this is me. I'm just
yes.
I'm a vindictive son of a bitch.
I love them. I love them together. They're Van, as they call them. I love them together. The great pairing. But I want to mention something on a side note, because this was really fun. Thanksgiving, we had the Cassadines Thanksgiving at Alexis's house, and I have to say, I really enjoyed it. And when Victor came and it was like, I'm the patriarch of this family, and they were like, what? Well, it was, to me, it was hilarious. But I loved, minus the girls weren't there, but I loved everybody else was there. There's all these Cassadines around, and Alexis's reactions, and you got Nicholas, you have Spencer. I mean, I loved it. He keeps alluding to there's some stuff out there. Victor keeps alluding to some stuff out there. I'm loving Cassadine. Give me more Cassadines. Give me more.
I agree with you totally on this. And for my kind of issues, the way they portrayed Victor on Cassadine Island, where he was kind of like a bumbling guy, and I'm hiding in a jail cell, and Sam and Dante found me. The way that he was kind of bumbling at that time, where like him coming into that Thanksgiving dinner, I liked it. And the further scenes with him and Nicholas and Ava, like those two. So I'm like, all right, like if this is what you're gonna do with them, I'm more excited to see that stuff.
Me too. I was like, yeah, the scenes with Ava and Nicholas, and he's scared. Now he's scary to me. Now he's scary. Because you're right. I'm like, he was like this, dawdling old man or something out there in Cassadine. I don't know what was going on there. But now he literally is like setting himself to be like the scary, mysterious Cassadine patriarch. And I love it. And Ava's nervous. She's nervous. Like, something, I'm like, a little nervous. And you probably should be. I mean, that's the whole point. But I love that her and Nicholas are really, they're a couple. They really are a couple. I love it.
I like it so much. I mean, for I'm sure like the frustrations that I had, you had perhaps, for like this whole like, oh, I'm going to blackmail you. And that the way that whole marriage started, I was excited for them to get to this place where they're a united front against enemies from the outside. So
yes, I agree. And I love that Ava's like, okay, now I'm a Jerome, so like, I mean, I know about dysfunction, and I used to work at the mall. Like she's not some doe-eyed, like, what's going on, Nicholas? Oh my God, like she knows she's like, let's work together. Yes. We got to work together. And I'm like, that's what it is. We don't need any more things pulled apart. Keep them together, fighting the outside for, like you just said, fighting out. That's what we need. And Cassadine stuff, I already saw some scenes, some previews where Victor's talking to Spencer. I'm ready for all that. I'm like, yes, please do it. But now they all know Valentine is a Cassadine, basically. You'll do a DNA test, whatever. So I'm very excited. This is good. I've heard some rumors about some stuff, but I don't know. I'm not gonna say them out loud, but I heard some rumors about some stuff. So we'll see if they come true. But I'm Cassadine, sure. There's a bunch of them running around. Great. Let's do this.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've kind of focused on the Cassadine side of things. So I'm all for it. If the show wants to make an investment in that family and kind of build them up, would be great. And I think it'd be great for characters that don't get a lot of action, like Christina or
Yes.
Molly. Get them sucked into some more Cassadine stuff to give them something to do.
Yes. Well, I love Sam's like, you and your bestie Valentine's, Alexis. They become friends, and now they're cousins, so to speak. Like they become friends, or however they are. They're cousins. Sorry, cousins. Yes. Because their father was Cassadine, so they're cousins. So I kind of like that, and I think I was like, okay, and just seeing Charles Shaughnessy in a role that's not the good guy is very interesting.
Yes,
I think he did a good job.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that this is, I mean, at least for like a year or two, kind of plan for GH, and not just like up 6 months and the Victor stuff's wrapped up and see you later. Right. I would like to see them around for a while.
Yes. Now I want to mention also this. Jeannie Francis is back. So is Michael E. Knight. They are back. They are back and better than ever. And Laura's been around the block a few times. You know what's going on. And they tried to kill Martin Gray, and Laura saves the day. And there was one part that I laughed. I don't know if you guys caught this, where the chick's trying to strangle him. She was like, "Come on, just die." She's like, "I want your sister here." I couldn't stop laughing. There's a couple things she kept mumbling. I kept like, "What's she just saying?" I was laughing kind of hard. She's like, because he's a big guy, and she's trying to. I'm like, "Yeah, of course he'll struggle for a while." Like, of course. But Laura was like, "I've been through this before." She ain't no wallflower. I love when they portray Laura as somebody, because her and Luke were on the run all those years. She's been around the block. You know what's going on. So I love that they're playing video games and they're trying to beat each other. I mean, and they become close. They actually have become close brother and sister. So now they're headed back to Port Charles. I mean, so what do you think? I mean, is Cyrus back? And so what do you think of the storyline?
It would be curious because this was, given the realities of, Jeannie Francis taking some time off, this was a great way to be able to have them come back and not have to, and establish a tightness between her and Michael E. Knight's character as well. So it's like all that happened, all that sibling bonding happened for this, 6 months that they were off camera. So that's great. Come back in and it'd be great to have Laura have a brother to be able to hang out with. The Cyrus stuff, I mean, you feel him kind of putting, he's sticking his fingers back in pies, whether it's the Sunny pie, the Laura pie,
yes.
And so I will be curious to see. I feel like what the show wants to do with him, because they set him up, locked up in prison. Nobody's going to let him out. So I don't know. I don't know what the show is planned for him in that respect.
Well, I saw the preview, and Laura goes to talk to him this week, so we don't know what that. Yeah, we'll see what that's about. But she's ready to come home. She got things to take care of. She heard Victor Cassadine's back, and she's like, no, I gotta leave now. And Martin Gray's like, but no, you gotta stay here so you don't get killed. She's like, screw Cyrus, our brother. This guy over threat than you think Cyrus is bad. She's like, she knows them Cassadine. She's like, these Cassadines are way worse than Cyrus than their brother Cyrus.
It's, I don't know. It's like the realities of like real life and story needs on a soap, where it's like, oh, we got to go into hiding because there's death threats against us. And so they go into hiding. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, when they really want to come back to the show, now we can come like, no, I don't want to be in hiding anymore. No, I'm just coming back. Like, I think the reasons for you to still be in hiding exist, but the fact that you're now regularly back on the show means that we want to wave those aside. Yes. So we can just come back to Port Charles and do our thing.
Yes. Well, everybody in the chat room, I agree with you. I love Jeff Corber as Cyrus. I think Frank and I both have stayed on the show. We thought it was too weird to get rid of him so soon. At the same time, they were trying to get rid of Peter. It was like he was a complex villain. He was doing stuff that was a little different. We liked the ponytail, of course. But other than that, we liked everything else about him. So it's kind of like, yeah. He's not getting out of jail. So I don't think they're going to do. It's going to be very interesting to see what they're going to do with him, with her. But Laura's back. She's come back. She got things to take care of.
I guess it would have been weird because as we talked about taking down both him and Peter at the same time, it seems weird whatever the show has planned for Cyrus. I feel like they want to be able to have Cyrus kind of mixing up with these characters. Tough to do when you're in prison. So I don't know why the show made the choice of putting him in prison as opposed to once he's shot by Jason, he just kind of disappeared off the canvas for a while, and he's getting tended, his wound taken care of. And then he can come back when he's ready, and he's
I agree.
He's out.
I agree. I don't know why they made that choice, but They do what they do. So hopefully they'll come back. But yeah, I don't even want to talk about him. So we're gonna wait a second before I bring him up, because you said a name that, like, you say it 3 times, Beetlejuice happens or something. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't want to talk about it. But we'll get to him in a second. I'm excited for Laura to come back and mix it up with everybody and see what's going on. She's been gone a little too long. And we'll see that. And now I want to mention, because her name is Lydia Look, and she's an actress. She's on social media. We were sending love to each other this week. I'm in love with Miss Wu. I'm in love with Miss Wu. She is the bomb. I love that she has the best look. She does not care. She's like, and Brad got released, folks. And she told Britt, which I was shocked actually when that scene happened, stay away from him. I'm like, oh. But Britt didn't listen. And they had a little showdown. And Miss Wu was like, I think we have a problem. And Britt thinking, my father's face, I want to just leaves all over. Like, I don't give a shit about you. So I'm kind of liking this whole thing and then Michael, who said it a little earlier, Michael is like standing up to her. And it was revealed that Brad was the one who poisoned Peter. I was shocked about that also. So go on, Frank. Brad... I get all this, Frank. Go ahead and tell it all. What do you
no. I mean, do you think Brad was the one that poisoned him, or he's just the person that delivered that meal that had poison in it, and even he didn't know?
Oh, okay. Well, so you said that, Frank.
Yeah, because I mean, so far he hasn't had any he hasn't played it as if he's done something terrible to get his way out of there. So I mean, the show could pull it, and it's like, Brad was lying to everybody all along, and he really knew that he poisoned Peter for sure.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too.
Yeah. So, and plus the fact that he got his parole. That whole, I'm glad to have Brad out. I don't understand why the Britch needed the warning. It's, she never instigated Brad to do all these things. I mean, Brad was doing these things when she wasn't even around.
Right.
So I don't know why she would be such a bad influence on him.
Well, she didn't care though, Frank. She didn't care. She's like, let me sit down. Let's have breakfast with you guys.
I love it. Sidebar for 1 second. Britt, I love with it, how they keep growing her character. They get her more involved in stuff.
They're growing her character. Yes.
Which is fantastic, because I mean, if you look at like Carly, you look at like Ava. I mean, Ava came after Carly, of course, but they've done a great job of really kind of growing Ava as a character.
Yes.
I feel like you need somebody. I mean, Elizabeth has been around with the show forever, so she's going to have her thing. But I feel like you need new blood to introduce into that, and characters to flourish that can be the next Carly or Ava potentially, in terms of longevity and just like the richness of a character. And so I feel like Britt, I'm hoping this is somebody that they're really going to invest in and kind of do some stuff with long term, if the character wants, the actress wants to stick around. Because
the Brit and Epiphany conversation about being a doctor and getting, I mean, she really is. I mean, she really is. And her and Elizabeth are kind of becoming friends on some weird level too, and her and Terry get along. I guess you're right. They really the Brits has really come a long way. She has come a long way. But she loves Brad. That's her buddy. They've always been buddies. And she's like, no, I'm not leaving him, my best friend. I'm not doing it. And Britt Britt is not a scary person. She's not a person who gets scared easily either. So she's like Miss Wu. She's like, no, I'm not. That's what I love about it. It's like that's in character for Britt. That she would be there for Brad. And she is softening in other areas too. And I love her and Maxie and Nina, the little family. It's like this little family of women, and it works. It's like when her and and Nina had it out. She was like, "Hey, come on, let's say it." And I love that. I loved it very much. I thought this was great, and I thought, yeah, it makes sense. None of them are innocent. None of them. Max is like, I'm not innocent. I just makes my past. Britt's not innocent clearly either, and neither is Liesel. So it's almost like we're just saying we're family. And they mentioned Nathan's name, of course, and we like that, and that makes sense. Nathan was their good compass, was the good guy in the family. So I like that positioning. That there's kind of like, yeah, we got to do this for. He would want us to get along. He'd want us to continue. I like that. I do. I like it a lot.
I agree, and it's always a good thing if you can take a character and like look back over the last X amount of years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. has the character changed, hopefully for the better? And I mean, and is it like kind of a realistic kind of progression? It's not just like some kind of weird rewrite they're doing to kind of make the character do something different. And I feel like with like Ava and Britt, like you can just see a character evolution to get to the point where they are at, where it's, you know, they're for all their foibles, I mean, that they've also kind of just grown as people as well. So I love it. I love what they've done those characters.
And Ava, like Britt, they taught their path. They don't act like they're you know, saints.
Yes.
They acknowledge their past. They know they've done some stuff, and they're trying for redemption. They're trying to like continue going, and it worked. And so far, it's working. It's weird because I mean, Ava did some out and out bad things. I mean, you know, and so did Britt. You know, but now the fact that we're feeling for them years later, like that's good. That's writing. That's the actors. That's everything. Everything.
One of the things where I thought the show took me one way, and I'm glad that I thought they were going to go one way and they went another, was with Carly and Britt after Jason came back, or Jason died. And Carly's initial reaction to Britt, I thought that was like, okay, we're just going to be with this, where she's going to be blaming Britt for this whole thing. But to see how that kind of changed, and that scene with them on the bridge between Carly and Britt, and just the way that kind of relationship is kind of coming together after Jason's death, I'm liking that choice better.
Here's a little something off camera, I will say. I always share the guys little stories about myself. And I was just really similar, actually. There was somebody between me and someone else while they were alive, and they died. Actually, 25 years ago next month. And when this person died, we came together, me and the other person. And now we're very close. As well as weird things, took years, and there's a child involved. And his son just got married yesterday. And so it's kind of like, wow, I'm like 25 years later, your dad isn't here, but I have a connection to his dad. So I was talking to him pre-marriage, time before the wedding, and talking to her. You know, it was just weird. So I actually been through something similar in real life, actually, where while the person was alive, it was cat fight and all that stuff. But afterwards, it brought us together. So I can say, Frank, it can't happen. So I'm just saying it's one of those weird things. It happened for me.
Soap stories, they're just like us.
They're just like us, Frank. Just like us, Frank. Because when I was watching this story, I was like, that's what I said. It reminded me of that. I was thinking, this is really reminding me of my own life. And now, you know, like you said, again, everything's black and white. If soaps could show everything's black and white, for what a better story it could be. You know, it's a better story. And I think Carly and Britt are a lot more alike than they really realize in many ways. And that's kind of how these two feisty chicks, they could be friends. So like that's, you know, because Ava and Carly have an understanding of sorts. They'll never be friends. They'll just never be friends. They have an understanding. But I thought, well, Britt could, because Britt was something she helped. See, Carly saw Britt help Jason. So on some level, that'll always feel, that'll be good to Carly. Like, she was there for Jason in many ways. You know, so that's a good thing. And she saw Jason was happy. That's why her and Sam are friends, because Carly, you know, Queen Carly allowed this to happen, so to speak. It's like, yes. You know how it is. Like, she's like, I like you because, okay, I kind of like you because you're good for him. It makes him happy. She's okay, fine. So I think Britt was one of the other ones too. And she apologized. I was like shocked when she apologized to her. Said, I'm sorry I was going off on you earlier. It's like, you know, it's she's grieving, and Carly is grieving. I thought that was really cool. That was really cool. Now, folks, Frank, we got to mention this because people are mentioning it online. The Elizabeth reaction. Those Liaison fans are pissed. Everybody's pissed. Elizabeth fans are pissed that she was not more central to the actual. This week we saw more reaction, obviously, in relation to Finn. But how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean, Elizabeth's got, you know, processing the Franco stuff still. I mean, she's got, so the Jason stuff, I can see why she's not central to it. I mean, I think for Liaison fans, you know, that pairing is going to be so important to them that they want to see that immediate kind of take. For me, that Liaison thing is just, that's kind of gone away, at least for me, for a long time. So her not having that immediate hot take reaction from Elizabeth was not essential to me. I'm glad we got it, but it wasn't like I needed to see that. Like, that was not the reaction I was looking to see most in Port Charles when the news came back.
Okay. Not even she has a son with Jake. Not even that.
No, I mean, No.
He's like, nah.
It's because, it's as a child, we rarely see any of those characters interact. So I mean, we all just, for the most part, those scenes all take place off camera that we hardly ever see, except for the occasional like once where like, oh yeah, we're hanging out, playing, pool over at video games, at the floating rib, and then here's a quarter, go away for a little while, and then they're off camera. So we we really don't see much of that. So it's stuff. It's when I think of more children, if you're going to tell me more about like Cameron or Jocelyn, for like that parent-child kind of relationship, I'm going to buy that more because we see those interactions between parent and child more. When it gets to the younger set, we rarely see those. So it's, for me, it doesn't hold much water when it's like, they've got a child together. Like, yeah, sure, okay. That, for me, that seems more in name only than we actually get to see in action for me to really feel that heartbreak.
You're right. Some of that's very true. We don't really see them portrayed as much. We've seen more of. Well, we saw Jake kind of in Aiden. We see some stuff for Liz's birthday or whatever. But yeah, you're right. We don't really see him enough to have a thought. But Elizabeth wanted to kill Peter herself. And the scalpel in her hand. We knew she was going to do it. Obviously, we knew she was going to do it. But
but it's. Yeah, she wasn't going to do it, but still, there's times where you just wish like the soap would just completely surprise you and just have you like, nope, she killed him. She just killed him. That was it, and now we're good. So I would love to see the defense of Elizabeth for for somebody that has killed two significant people in her life, and that she just kind of snapped at the moment and just killed him.
Yes.
Could we get her off of that? I don't know.
Yes. And you had homeboy right there running to her. And when there's one scene, he's running in the hospital to get to her. I had chuckled on that one. I'm sorry, I had chuckled on that one.
Yeah, I guess
I don't feel them. I'm sorry, Frank. I don't feel them. Everybody I know, I don't feel chemistry. I'm sorry, I don't.
Now, you were not the biggest Franco and Liz fan for a long time.
I wasn't.
So
but I came around towards the end.
You did come around. Does that give you that? Does that make you think you could come around to this?
Yeah, so easily. It could. Again, they're off and on. We don't see them enough.
Yeah.
We don't see him enough that, I mean, they tried to kill, we thought he killed somebody. We haven't still explored that really yet. They did a little bit, but we haven't explored that. I mean, it's just, they brought it up again kind of when Elizabeth, like, remember, you thought you killed him. And she's like, yeah, you told me. They're trying to build a love story out of this weird death, danger. I mean, it's weird. It's weird for me. It's just weird for me.
You're important to me. I don't know. I feel like in 2021, do I need to have, I mean, I guess it's still real, but it's always just annoying to like, but I don't want to lose a friend. So should we do this? I don't know. Like, okay, whatever. Sure. Just do it or don't. I don't care at this point. Just make a choice and go with it.
But I'm going to continue to complain on this show till it actually happens. I want Peter gone so effing bad. I can take they do this on purpose. I actually feel General Hospital is doing this against me, James Lott Jr. I feel like this is literally against James Lott Jr. and JLJ Media. That is totally personal, and that they want me to go insane. I want him. When Max is like, is he dead? Is he dead? I'm like, yes. Is he dead? Is he dead? No, he's alive still. He's alive. So I'm like, cut it off. I'm like, Austin, who cares? Max is like, oh my, oh my goodness.
I would love to be able to go to the GH writers room and just see like a photo of you, the JLJ Media logo right there. They just have like this guy right here.
And you know what flows next to that? Frank Moran, JLJ Media, and Gladys. It's right there. It's like every time we write Gladys, we're doing it for Frank Moran on JLJ Media. That's right. That's what they're doing. Yeah, exactly. Right next to mine. I think you hate Gladys, I hate Peter. I know you hate Peter too, but I feel like we both have just been so vocal about these. Peter, he just keeps going. Like, dude, they can't kill him. It's getting ridiculous at this point. It's getting to the point where it's like, come on, really?
I feel like, and I thought the nurses' ball was going to happen this year. I feel like the nurses' ball will be happening in May next year, I guess, just to get back to tradition. So I feel like that might be when we see the Peter storyline wrap up. So get ready for that, because we still got to get, at some point he's got to be holding baby Louise. So until we get to that point, I won't anything that we see of him potentially dying, I won't buy until we get to that point. Then I feel like, all right, at any point once he has that baby, he can die, and it'll just be a matter of who's the person that does it.
Well, here's my question for you, Frank. This is going to talk about everything. Who do you want to see really end Peter? Some say Anna, some say Valentine, some say Maxie, some say, who would you want?
Well, I feel like it's not going to be Anna, because at one point I feel like the show could go and make this, another Will Cortland thing, where you've kept this character on for so long and so many people hate him that now becomes the big murder mystery.
Okay, who shot JR?
Yeah.
Everybody hates him, and all of a sudden,
so because of that, I'm going to feel like Anna will be the one that didn't, because she believes in the law and justice, so she won't be the one that has killed him. And then you're just going to find, some, just kind of not that consequential character that's, kind of important enough to be like recognizable, but not that important that you could send off to jail and never see again, and take off the show, and it wouldn't be a big deal. It will be the person that has killed him. That's my goal. That's my prediction if they go the murder mystery route.
Literally, I think Frank Valentine is like, fuck James Lott Jr. We're going to just keep this man on here just to bug him, not for anybody else. We're going to make sure that James is going to want to go crazy and drink himself to oblivion every day. I'm coming apart. My hat's coming off just because I'm getting upset. It's like my hair's trying to pop out because it's standing straight up. Okay. Enough about that storyline.
We didn't actually to go to Brad for one hot second, because I know we kind of I sidebarred it with the Britt talk.
Yeah.
To go to that appeals thing, Michael becomes tiresome to me in that context, because it's Brad has paid for his crime. He's been in prison. He's been in prison, I think longer than the actual scam went on. So it's like he's done his time. And so for Michael to say like, no, he's destroyed so many people's lives by doing this. He's no way is he ready to be able to, atone for his crimes and come back out. I was like, Michael, take a seat. As James Lott Jr. would say, take several seats.
Take several seats. Michael is quite possibly the most annoying character on the show. He's more so than Peter in some ways, because at least Peter's being written a certain way. That's why whatever that. I think and here's some gossip, folks. Well, off-camera gossip. Chad Duo plays Michael, and my friend Courtney Hope, who plays Sally Spectre on Ren Restless, just got separated.
Yeah,
they married like a month ago at a big ceremony.
That I remember looking at photos for that, and that was an interesting wedding theme.
Yes, it's a wedding theme. Yes, it's an interesting wedding theme.
To now already be seeing like we're scrubbing that off our social media accounts. That didn't happen. Pay no attention to this weird guy.
Crazy. And they were together for a long time before they got married. But and all of a sudden, I had an uncle who did that once. Him and his girl were together 8 years. They got married, divorced 2 years later. Piece of paper? Is that what it is? I don't know.
And that's his second marriage. It's kind of ended in a quick fashion. So
yes.
I don't know.
Sometimes marriage is not for everybody, folks. Sometimes just be in a relationship. Don't get married.
Yeah.
It's you're old. Get married. I've never been married, so I was proposed to once. And I was engaged twice, but I never got married. I was a runaway bride. Like, no thanks, no thanks.
Yeah, I'm not married. It's fine. It's great, guys.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, sometimes the paper is whatever. It's nice. Be a domestic partnership like Molly and the regular Rizzo
You
ring
can't
on it.
corral a stallion, everybody.
That's right, ladies. Frank's available. It's not, actually, he's not available. He just has a wedding ring. That's right. He's not available.
That's right. You know,
They want you in there, but no, you can't have him. But yes. So it's gonna. Okay, so what have we? Okay, as we wrap this up, this is an hour and a half. We've been talking about this show for our year end.
do you like? Because we kind of touched on it briefly, but do you like Willow knowing the deal between Sonny and Nina?
No, I don't care about her. I'm like, why make her find out? I'm like, oh, okay. And she gives Nina attitude. Like, whatever, girl, whatever. You cheated. Like Brooklyn said, you cheated on when you married Chase. It's her good attitude. Brooklyn's like, why are you gonna give attitude to? And I was like, excuse you. And Brooke was like, excuse you. Like, you cheated on, and it got too much for Willow.
We also got for Willow. There's just not much going on for her.
She saw Harmony. They say they saw each other for a minute. They got along fine. Harmony and Alexis to me are way more interesting than Harmony and her daughter. I was like,
I like that because it is, it seems like a friendship that has developed, having them meet in the minimum security prison that Alexis was in, but then the real world implications of like, oh, I can't just invite you over because, Christina, you did so many, you were part of the terrible things.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and so, I'll be curious to see, does Alexis try to maintain some? I feel like she would want to have a friendship with Harmony.
I think so.
Family aside, it's just having, how do you have that kind of friendship and then be able to justify to your kids?
Because Sam already had her reaction too, because remember, she's part of that also too. She was like, Mom. Yeah. But their friendship seemed really organic. It seems really organic. And I can see about second chances, about doing something different. And I think Harmony was kind of brainwashed the Donna that she followed, like cult people do. And that's why I say I don't mind her and Willow reconciling on some level. They're fine to reconciling and everything, but I think for me it's the Harmony Alexis stuff. I'm kind of curious about that and how that will continue. That's where the gold is. I think it's over there. And we need more Christina. Christina shows up. She has the least lines. And Molly and Sam. I loved all the Davis girls together. That was great. But Christina didn't say much.
It's, I feel like even in the Dawn of Day storyline, it quickly got overshadowed and became more of a Sam storyline.
Yeah.
So, I feel like Christina for the longest time has just been kind of this floundering character with, maybe she's, kind of in a relationship with a woman, maybe she's not. It's just, nothing's really stuck with that character.
She is a true middle child. I'm a middle child. I know how it feels. You're neglected. You don't get the same lines. They don't care about you. It's exactly what it is. Because Christina, you're right. Day of Dawn was her story at first, and then became the Sam story. They put her after Homeboy, after everybody dies or whatever. They put her at Charlie's. Now it's Phyllis's Charlie's. Like it's like it keeps getting kind of. But when she came in, when she found her father was alive, everyone was like, "Great performance!" Like she acted like she was supposed to. It was like great performance. I don't know. Lexi Ainsworth has an Emmy. She can act. I don't know why I don't know why she's not getting. I don't know. I just don't understand. I don't understand.
No,
so that's just I don't understand.
It's for we didn't see much of. The whatever's going to be happening with Ryan over at that prison, and
we don't have much of that right now, and the whole Esme trying to get back at get at Trina, get at Joss, trying to needle them a little bit. This whole like trip away fight. I'm like, oh.
This trip, just do it already. It becomes like it's like the Five Families meeting.
Right, exactly. I just.
And I have zero interest in watching. Zero.
Same here. Same.
Just tell me that it happened, and you guys can tell me about it afterwards. I don't want to watch any of it.
Right. I don't mind the kids together are great. I don't mind the whole shenanigans. Trina and Joss are just not buying Esme what she's selling. I love that. That's good. And Spencer and Trina, all that. I love all of that. but yeah, I have no interest in going away to a cabin for a night and there are all these shenanigans. I mean, I have no. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're doing fine so far with them. Don't add all that in there. Just don't do it.
And I don't need Trina. Yeah, it's like Trina talking to her mom, which I mean, I guess is a realistic thing. It's like if you're seeing all your friends have boyfriends, you're questioning like, what's the deal with me? What's going on with me?
I know. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't mind that either. It's fine. Her and Portia are good together. They're a good mother-daughter duo. They're fine.
Yeah, I did like her finding out about Marshall. Just like, just a lot of forthright. Just like, okay, thanks. We'll see you later. Bye.
Yeah. Well, she was like, he's kind of creepy. She was like, she's not feeling it either. She's like, she don't trust him either on some level. She's trying to calm down Curtis, which is kind of funny. But she's looking at him with side eye too a little bit. And when she was like, I won't do it myself, so to speak, blah, blah, blah. So I mean, she did, but her dad, and so yeah, but she was right. My dad was always a big part of my life still, even when that was happening. Where this guy was gone. I mean, Marshall apparently was gone. That was it. He just, for decades.
Yeah.
Decades. I mean, that's a whole different story. But the fact that, again, as we started the show, as we kind of end the show, having Stella have known about stuff, not going to end well either. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, and we still have the thing where she never really turned in. I mean,
that's right. That's right. She still has it, doesn't she? Oh my God. That's
we know it's been ruined now. I mean, because it's got TJ.
Got wet.
Threw it out. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Wet.
I'm really gonna tell her. This important letter is gone now.
That's what I'm saying. Certain storylines they just drag out or drop. Or again, Elizabeth, where's her father? They keep every 6 months they tease us something, and that's Hayden. Where's Hayden? Sean's on the case. Where is he? Is Victor involved? Is Cyrus involved? Like it's again, why stick it? I mean, again, I know larger cast. I get that part too once in a while, but it's going farther than it's going too far. Too long.
And I feel like the Jordan character is going to be just for whenever they feel like they want to, recast an actress and bring her back. But it isn't like the show's in any rush to do that.
No, because Brianna Nicole Henry is pregnant in real life. She's busy posting pictures of her pregnant belly. So she's busy doing that. So I don't know. I don't think I do. I mean, that character, they got all these men running around. Like, where's some chicks? What's going on here? And they're all running around, just sitting there, running around. So, and folks, I talked to Real Andrews recently, and he's doing great. He looks good. He's been working out. His cancer is gone. I mean, he's doing really great. So he's been busy doing his coaching business. So I don't know what's going to happen with that either. I mean, it's kind of like that. They brought him on and it's bye.
Yeah, I mean, he's still there. I mean, probably
still there. Still there.
Yeah.
So folks, just stay tuned. I guess with that too, you just never know. But somebody asked me about him. He's doing great. He looks good. He's doing great. He's healthier than anybody I know.
I mean, I guess one thing we didn't really touch on, given the real world and reasons and stuff like that, but the leavings of Jax and Jason. How do you feel that those were handled?
Yeah, like I said, like we were saying earlier, there's so much drama. I said Jason, Jerry D's, I talk about all of that stuff over there, and it's just kind of just all this drama. But for you guys here, again, it comes down to a company has a right to ask of certain things. They have a right to have rules and regulations, and it's up to you to comply to them or not. If they say you got to wear a uniform and it's the uniform you have to wear, it's up to you. You got to wear that uniform. It's not this. That's just kind of how it is. If they say you have to come to work at a certain time every day, you have to work at a certain time every day. If they say to you got to get vaccinated, you got to get vaccinated then. But then again, you have a right to say, nope, I don't want to. I don't want to wear that outfit. I don't want to come to work at this time, and I don't want to get vaccinated. Then they have a right to say, well, sorry, thanks for being here. We'll let you go. And I know for a fact Steve said he was let go, so he was fired. I can't remember. I think Jackson. I think Engel just left. I think Engel left. He just turned down. So that's, to me, it's the basic that's the basics. Everything you can feel whatever you want on any side about that, but I feel like that's the basics. Everybody's arguing, is that legal? It is. I mean, it's a job. He's suing. He's not going to win ABC. He's not going to win anything. It's complete. That is, they have a right to do that. And but you have a right to say, I don't want to do it. You have that right. I don't want to do
it. Agreed. Story-wise,
right.
Though, I feel like the Jax thing, it's frustrating because that character hasn't had much to do for a while. I feel like Jax is a character that I want to see done well, I guess because I have a fondness for him in the '90s when he first came on, and I liked that boardroom wheeler and dealer, had pinball machines in his office and all that great stuff. Uh, the character has not been well served for the longest time.
No,
And
it hasn't.
I had hopes maybe when he came back on with Hayden and he was involved in the Nicholas stuff that he had a reason to exist here and it would be cool. It didn't really pan out, and yeah, there's just hasn't been much. So for him to kind of just leave with a whimper, it's unfortunate. Just seeing, given my fondness for the character, but not surprising for the way that he's been written lately.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right with that. The character of Jax, okay. They haven't given him a good storyline in years. I mean, nothing that's worth anything. He just has been, I mean, they were starting to look, I mean, I kind of like he was a thorn in Carly's side for a while when Sonny was gone, a little bit. Then that got tiresome after a while too. They didn't serve that well either. He was floundering around. No, he didn't have Nina anymore. They spun off Nina to Nixon Falls. There were a lot of things they just didn't really, they fell through. Steve Burr was the one that shocked me the most because he's like number 2 or 3 on the call sheet, as they say in the business. He's, Jason was an integral part of the show. Like literally, he was on every other day, and he has so many connections. So that one is the one that's more jarring. And so when they said they decided to kill him, that's when it's more jarring. The Jax one, nobody even cares. He's just gone. I mean, nobody even said anything. For the Jason one, I thought that's the hole. That's not going to be. That's really tough. Yeah, I think that's my feelings on that. So that the Jason was much more important because he interacted with so many people. And like I said, especially for Sonny, it's like Sonny always had a right hand man. So as I'm saying, it's kind of like he's gone.
I mean, they wrote him out in a nice kind of soapy way, having him trapped in a cave in where we can come up with a variety of reasons for him to still survive somehow. I mean, of course, I'm sure it's going to involve some sort of coma or memory loss to explain, why he didn't immediately return to Port Charles. I do like, though, that we just end with a little tarot card outside the rubble. And nobody's really talked about, like Peter, Drew is not deprogrammed.
Right.
They just know what the triggers are and the way to get him out of it.
Yeah.
I would think that, hey, let's get a couple of those tarot cards just to have with us, so we can, if something happens, we can snap Drew out of this.
Yeah.
So there you go. That is. But I did, as we're wrapping up, I did like at least to see that Jason and Drew, for as much as I wanted more, but given what we're working with, that at least we had a little bit of connection between the two of them on Cassadine Island.
I totally agree with that also. And Drew mentioned that they're finally working together as brothers, which is a realistic thing. Realistic, you finally come together at the end.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Yeah, that kind of, so I did like that also. I have to end the show because I have somebody, my next show is already here. Outside. I know. So I'm like, she said we're in the hood, so I don't leave her out there too long. But anyway, so no, I mean, we like doing the show. We're always going to see how we feel. We always how we feel on the show, and we'll try to bring you some more guests next year. Got a lot of things we're going to try to do next year. We'll keep it going.
Maurice Bernard?
7 years. What?
Maurice Bernard?
Hey, I'd love to get him on. He liked my post once. Hopefully, we'll get him on here. I'd love to have him on here. I mean, I know he's been doing his own show. He's interviewing everybody. This show's good, folks. Actually, it's really good. It's called. I said never mind. I decided it's called something, but it's really good.
On the couch, or give me smooches with Maurice Bernard.
Yeah, so it's something. It's some guy, but it's good. It's a good show. As he talks to everybody. It's a good show, and so I'm really. He talks about mental illness and about your brain, and it's really good. So I State of Mind. It's called State of Mind, and I like it. I watch it. I like it. So
it's only a matter of time before you're on it.
I love that. I mean, I'm trying, but you can't catch me in the season 2 of Studio City on Amazon Prime coming up soon. So yes, I do have a little. I can't tell you much. I can't tell you anything else. But I work with a former GH actor, of course, on the show. That's all I can say. To you guys out there, but I am completely excited. I don't know when's coming out. Hopefully soon. But I did the filming, and I am in season 2 of that show, of that Emmy-winning show. So
in a sauna.
What?
Are you guys in a sauna?
I don't show my breasts on television, so no, we're not a sauna. We're not a sauna. No. When it comes out, I will tell you the behind the scenes, folks, because there's a good. I can tell you where I was. It's a very interesting story. Tell you where I was. But Frank Moran's at Happy Go Jackie. I'm at James Lott Jr. Hit that like button on here, of course. Share this with everybody. Thanks to all the GH groups I get to share this with on Facebook. You guys are wonderful. To all our fellow GH podcasters, we love you. Keep doing it. If you're doing it while we're gone, keep doing it while we're gone. Because way back on the 16th of January, yes, it's almost a month from now. Sorry, kids. The stuff's going on. But
James Lott Jr. is popular. You know, what can we say? James Lott Jr. is popular. What are you gonna do?
I had kids and grandkids. Things like that are going on. So that's yeah. So that's kind of what's going on. Yeah. So there's some birthday milestones happening outside of Los Angeles. So I'll be dealing with that. But yes, and I'm just so excited. I have audio dramas. Frank's on a few of those. I have books. I have music. I have everything. Anything you need, just check out JLJ Media, of course, and Be Kind, Rewind. Thank you so much. Happy holidays. Happy holidays, Frank. Happy holidays, everybody. 2021 is almost over. Thank God. And hopefully we have a good 2022.